Hey guys, Amy here with Leap of Faith Crafting, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. I know I usually do Cricut projects, but the company Hiipoo reached out to me to ask me if I wanted to try their product, and sublimation printing is something I've been wanting to try, so I jumped on the opportunity, and I have been having a lot of fun creating quite a few things. So this is just kind of the first. I'm going to do a couple different tutorials on different things, but today I'm going to show you how to actually set up just a regular printer for sublimation printing, so you don't have to spend a ton of money on an actual sublimation printer. These Epson Ecotanks are perfect for sublimation. So I've read a lot of reviews and things on them, and people are super happy with them. So I got the Epson, again, the Ecotank, because you have to be able to fill the tanks, the cartridges that come with it, the 2760. And this one is working great for me. There's lots of different ones. Sometimes they're hard to find. I ended up getting this one from Costco, but I will link some below that you can find on Amazon and other places. So we're going to be needing a printer, and then also the Hiipoo box of sublimation ink. And this box actually comes with the 4 different colors that we're going to fill into these empty ink cartridges in here. And it comes with a couple tools we will be using too. So you're also going to be needing sublimation paper. This is the brand I am using, and again, I will link all of these below. Some butcher paper to protect your surfaces, and you'll see I made a boo-boo on one of mine, and you'll see that. Also heat-resistant tape. I'm using Cricut brand, but you can use whatever. And then also some sublimation blanks. So you can't just use any blanks for sublimation. They actually have to have a special coating, a poly coating that reacts with the sublimation dye with heat to produce a sublimation, or the ink is actually sublimates into the stuff. So it's super cool to use. So I am going to be using just polyester pillowcases. So if you're using fabrics like shirts, very similar to the pillowcase that I'm going to be doing, you want the highest polyester count you can find, or that's comfortable for you, because the more polyester, the more vibrant the colors will be. So I'm going to be using pillowcases, and I'm also going to be doing some puzzles that come in these packs, and mouse pads again come in packs. And I will talk about, they're kind of a weird size, so they're a little off. You can also find heat gloves, resistant gloves to protect your hands. And then I'm going to be using my Easy Press 2 and my mat. You can also use a heat press if you have one of those instead of this. Unfortunately, irons will not work because you need a real good, even press that's up at 400 degrees. So pretty high heat that we're working with. Okay, so just a few things. If you can see here, I made mouse pads with pictures on them and with my logo. And this is, it's hard to lift up because it's a puzzle. It's a cute, like a pregnancy announcement. Not my announcement, way past that age, but it would be cute, kind of send out to announce your pregnancy, people to do a puzzle. We're also going to do another one for a little kid, things like that. So again, we're going to start off with the printer, filling up these tanks. It comes with empty tanks, so we will not be using the ink bottles that come with the printer. So to get into the cartridges, we're going to lift this up, and then this part over here actually flaps up, and then I just set it back down and it holds up. So these are the ink cartridges we're getting into, and we're going to lift these up and fill these tanks. You can see that I already have them filled, so you can see the ink down here and there. Okay, so let's get into getting our printer set up, and then we're going to make some sublimation projects. Okay, so I've already actually filled up the black, yellow, and magenta. So as I showed you before, when you lift this up, this is where we will be inserting these sublimation inks that we have. So let's fill up the blue one. So all of these come in that box, along with 4 of these type syringes that sucks the ink out for us to put it right in there. Okay, so this one I just used with the magenta one. The other 2 I already used. So you can see in mine, I have the 2760 again. So I have just a little black ink that was left, but I do have maybe about a quarter of the bottles of the yellow and the magenta left, because these are kind of smaller ink cases there. So you will see that exactly where to put the color, and even on the front side here it says exactly. So let's do the blue one. So it also comes with gloves, so I'm going to put the gloves on because this ink stains. As you can see here, I dropped a little black on my table here and it stained it. So I'm just going to actually put just an old t-shirt right here, just so it doesn't get anywhere. And so we're going to use the blue and this new syringe. So all you need to do with this is just stick this right on to it and push it in, and then the cap comes off. So this is the part right here that will suck the ink up, and then we have the plunger to stick it right into the nozzle over here. Okay, so I'm going to open up the blue bottle here, and you'll see it has just that hole right there, and that's where we're going to insert this. So we're going to put it right in, and then I find it easiest to have the bottle on its side and then kind of pull up. Even sometimes I push the bottle against my body so I have a little bit better leverage on it, and you'll see that ink just fills up right there. So once we have enough, we just take it out, and now it's going to go in. So this I just flipped right up, and there's this little part that has two sides on it, and you can put it in either side. So I'm just going to stick that right in one, and then just start pushing down on the syringe there, and the ink starts to go right inside. Right inside there. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep repeating that, filling up my syringe. And then putting that in here. And sometimes you'll get some bubbles because it will pull some air. So you just have to kind of watch it a little bit because they will splatter a little bit. So you might just want to slow down as you're pushing it in. I find I get less air bubbles when I have the bottle almost completely on its side when I pull it out. So you can see on this one that's almost all completely air left there. Actually, I need to put my other glove on. Okay, so this does take a couple minutes. To fill all these up. Maybe over here so you can see a little better. Okay, so I'm just going to keep repeating that until my blue is filled up. And you can see on the side here that it shows the levels as it fills up. So my black one, since the black tank is the biggest, it doesn't go all the way up, but you don't want to go past these top lines here. So I filled up my yellow and my magenta to that one. So I have a little bit left on my blue. So I'm going to fill the rest of that in, and then we will start printing. Okay, so now we're going to print some stuff. So the first thing I'm going to print, I'm going to make a puzzle for kind of a pregnancy announcement. Not mine, but just thought it would be a cute idea for some people to do. So I made this in befunky.com, and I put the wording on it, and then if there's any wording on any of the sublimation, you want to mirror image it or flip it horizontally. So I was able to flip this in Be Funky, so it is all ready to print. You see here it connected to my 2760, my 8.5 by 11. I am going to be doing, my puzzle is a weird size. It's like 8 by 11 and a half. So I'm just gonna do an 8 by 10, and I'll have some white on the top and the bottom there. Fill page, and then I just want to make sure that this output is on high quality. Okay, and color. So on this printer, the feed is in the back. I'm just going to lift this up, and this comes right out. And I am using this sublimation paper here, A-Sub. So these sheets have just a plain white on the front, and then on the back you'll see it actually has the A-Sub. So that is the back side. So my printer, since I'm feeding it here, it's going to print on the top. So I'm just going to put it in there, click the print on my computer, and confirm this. Okay. Okay, so there is my print, and you'll see that it's not vibrant. Once we put the heat on it, it will be much more vibrant once we put it on the puzzle. Okay, so now I'm going to print one for we're going to do a mouse pad also. So I'm going to X out of here, and so we're going to do another puzzle. I'm going to do this. I also designed this one. Thought it'd be super cute as a birthday present for a kid that loves, you know, fire trucks. You could also make this as like a invitation, like you're invited, or as a party favor. Thank you for coming to my party, anything like that. So this, I got this at pixabay.com, and then again, I made this in befunky.com. So I do need to flip this. So I'm going to go to my edit and create, and this is just my basic in Windows 10 here. So over here I have a flip, so I'm going to flip that, and you'll see that everything flips over. Okay, and I'm going to save a copy. I'll just say yes. Okay, and so now I'm going to print this. And this one, again, also, I'm actually going to put this as a full page. Since I have some yellow around the sides, we'll see how this goes. And I'm going to fill the page so it has no borders around it. Okay, so then, and I know that was on high quality from before, so I'm going to put another sheet in here. In there, and click on my print and confirm. Okay. Okay, so there I have this one. Okay, so now I'm going to do a couple mouse pads. So my mouse pads again are not a normal size. I don't know why they're doing this. It's 8 by 9.5. So I just have to be wary of that when I print something out. And I am going to do this picture. So it has some outlines, so I'm not too worried if I cut something off on the outside. This has no picture, no words or anything, so I don't really care if it's not flipped. So I'm just gonna print this how this is, and it is gonna be a mirror image. So I'm just gonna go into print, and I'm gonna do an 8 by 10 on this one because it's the 8 by 9.5. So it's gonna cut off probably a little bit right there, which is fine. Just make high quality. Okay, so again, it's not going to be vibrant. It looks like it's very faded, but that will change once we add the heat to it. Okay, so now we're going to apply them to the sublimation blanks. And you can see, I already did one, and as soon as I put the press on, I was like, oh, I forgot to put butcher paper underneath, and it dyed my mat here. So, learned that lesson. So I set my easy press to 400 by 400 degrees for 60 seconds, and that's good for both the mouse pad and the puzzle. So let's do, so this is my pack of mouse pads, and as I said, they're not the ideal size because they're not an 8 by 10. They're like a 9.5 by 8. So kind of annoying. Okay, so I'm going to put just a piece of butcher paper underneath because my picture goes beyond a little bit. And then I'm just gonna lint roll this a little. It came right out of the bag, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna do that, and then, so this is my picture here that I'm putting on. Just gonna flip it over so I can see for sure. Kind of go this way so it's straight, and I'm getting everyone in. And it's all to the sides. I'm actually going to tape this just so it stays put as I flip it over. So this is the heat resistant tape. So now I'm going to flip it over. Kind of stays in that position. I'm actually going to tape these sides. Okay, so now I need another butcher paper to protect my heat press. I just have a large roll of it, and I'm just going to fold it in half to cover that up. Okay, so my mouse pad is right here, and it's smaller than my press, so I know I will get an even press over it. So I'm at the 400, so you don't want to move it around. You want to just press it down as evenly as possible. I'm just gonna make sure I'm within everything there. Okay, and I'm gonna start my time, and it's medium pressure. So I'm actually using 2 hands here to press it down, and I do have my window open. You will notice some smell coming off of these because of that sublimation ink as the sublimation ink and the heat mixed together, it releases some gas as it is sublimating into that poly coating that's on the mouse pad. Okay, so again, I don't want to move it around. I want to pull it up as straight as I can. So I'm just going to pull it right up, place that over here, and you'll see even some of that stuff coming up. Oops, and that came right off. Okay, so there that one is. So you'll see how it took all that ink off there, and that's the edge that the ink didn't come off. So I'm just gonna throw this away. So you'll see on this paper, since I didn't have a perfect 8x10, that would have gotten on my mat like this yellow did. So I'm gonna take that off. Okay, so there's one mouse pad. Great for any kind of really present or party favors, anything. You can even put, like I said, words on it. You just have to mirror that. So I'm gonna put that one up here. Okay, so now we're gonna do a puzzle. So again, just putting some butcher paper on here. And I got this pack of puzzles, and again, not a good size. They're like 8 by 11.5, which doesn't work great for 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 11 paper. So, so there'll be a little white around the edges. That's okay. So these actually all come individually packed. And there's a piece of cardboard on the back. So I'm gonna pull those out, and since they were in a bag, I'm not too worried about anything being on them. I'm just gonna take this out of the back. Okay, and now, okay, so now we have this on here. So I can't turn this one over as well to see how to place it because of, it will break apart. So I'm just gonna, so like I said, the top and the bottom are not gonna be, are gonna have white because of this weird size. I will try to find some on Amazon that are actually an easier size to work with, and I will link those below. So I'm just trying to center this. You can see what's hanging over the side. Okay. And then I'm gonna tape this one down. To the puzzle. We're just trying to eliminate ghosting with the tape. Ghosting is when it moves a little bit and you kind of get that offset image if things move around. Okay, so I'm just gonna go this way. I'm gonna get another piece of butcher paper. I'll lay that over. Okay, so I have the tape here, so I know kind of where my easy press needs to go into. So again, make sure it's going over both sides. And push button and just kind of medium pressure on it. So I am applying a little bit of pressure with my hands here. Okay, and again, I'm going to lift this straight up. And to move this off, and remove those tapes. I'm going to take this off. So cute, right? So this would be, I'm just going to put this back under it. Okay, so cute way to announce pregnancy. As you can see, there's a little white on the top with this picture. You can't really tell, but you just would break this all up, put it in a bag or a cute little box, and send that out. Okay. just gonna heat this a little bit to get the moisture out. And then I'm going to lint roll it. So any of that stuff, like you see the dog hair, which I have a ton of dog hair flying around this house, will also fuse into the pillow. So we want to make sure to get it as clean, lint-free as possible. And then with my heat-resistant tape, I'm actually just going to place this down, and I can kind of see through that back side. I'm just having a bunch of pictures all over this, so it doesn't need to be aligned or anything, but I want to keep it in place. Do not want this moving at all. So I'm going to tape it down. And then I'm going to put more butcher paper on top so I don't ruin anything. And then I am going to press this straight down. I don't want it moving all over so it moves things. So I'm just going to place it right over it. Hold it down. I'm going to start my temperature. I'm going to start my time for 40 seconds. And I'm going to press it down kind of medium. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to pull it straight up, no wiggling again. So we're just going to move it straight up and over. And move this out. And this is pretty hot. We can take it off. And there we have it, right on in the pillow. So that's the first picture. So I'm just going to keep putting more pictures on here until it's done. And this was the other one that I did, a happy birthday, so cute one for, you know, a little kid's birthday. As I said, you could also put this as a party favor, you know, thank you for coming to my party, or as an invitation, you know, and then mix them up and have that. And the mouse pads here. Okay, so, and then the pillowcase. So just a couple options of how to use the sublimation printer that we converted from an Ecotank, and a few options of what you can do with it. So anyway, I will link all the stuff below, and happy crafting.